Hello, friends of Pirate. It's me, Giuliano. Pirate Chain friends are. It's me, Giuliano, and it's end of May. We're reaching there. It's there. It's done. Just about. Holy moly! About 5 minutes left, and I'm going to share my screen. We're going to talk about Pirate Chain charts. It's looking good. Yeah, about 5 minutes left in the day. 31st May. 2021. I'm looking at the 4-hour chart on the USD, ARRR. Seeing that there is, because from the daily, there seemed to be a bit of potential for some upside movement. And now that I'm looking at it, I remember this indentation in the cave here, and it looks like there is in this really short term a potential for a move up to around in and around this 425. Even into the 430 level, maybe depending on how much of it we hit into. I just see it. We're kind of nearing the top of the Bollinger Band. We did get a bit of rejection here, but maybe there will be a bit of exuberance to move up. And maybe even more. Maybe we'll get stuck in the cloud a bit. This week could be a bit more of an up and sideways week in BTC USD, and that might carry the ARRR with it. Alternatively, it just could be a bit more of that up and down sideways action with a bit more of the downtrend, considering we're up here at this part of the Bollinger Band, the upper part, and moving down along with the cloud could be a thing. We'll see, but I'm definitely getting a sense of this upward movement. So let's see about this up thrust, because we have on the 4-hour gotten above this gray-blue support resistance, and yeah, let's see if it continues into the next 2 days. Okay, this is a June 2nd time frame here. And we are end of May today. It is 3 minutes remaining. I figured, okay, let's get on here and watch the clock play out. And so that means, okay, on the 4-hour, things are looking good. Things are looking good. Sideways is good. Sideways is good. A lot of nomming over here, and we're decent. We're above this 20 period and the Bollingers. We're on the higher side, but we're encountering this cloud. Let's see how it interacts in the next days. It'll be fun to watch. Stick around, okay? I figured that's what we might do. And the reason is I wanted to look at the 4 hours because on the day, yes, and you notice we're looking at the candles. I figured it's a daily closing. Let's look at what the candle looks like as a daily closing candle. So I saw that. I saw, and I still do see some form of potential of testing the 20 period average, but maybe that's later. Maybe it's slow and in the next couple of days. And or we might just continue further down, right? There's still an uncertainty involved here. Okay, there's quite an uncertainty involved here, and that the up and the down could be together. We could be involved. Let's find out. Alternatively, if there is enough upthrust, again, we might even get into a few dollars higher as Bitcoin maybe makes a bit of a run into the 40,000s. And then, though, with lower highs and lower lows, perhaps, or maybe lower highs and higher lows. But that is what I mean, actually. There's some sideways action that plays out. So here's our daily. We've got ticking down time, 1 minute remaining, and then we'll close this green, second green in a row. Nice body. Look at that body on that one. Okay, so that's the basic idea. I would also like to consider on that 4-hour chart, particularly, any potential for a retracement of this top to this bottom. Let's see what we're looking at here. And for this, we'll get to the lines and we'll look at a retracement tool. Let's say roughly this high down to this low retrace. Interesting potential, at least up to the $4 level of 618. and if not even up in a little bit higher towards the 786, that would be a nice completion of this move down. That would be good. In fact, you know, when we really look at it, when we look at this move down here, just to look at some confirmation of things, we're looking at this move here. We go back here and we retrace it, so we come down to here, and we still have, it was a 618, right? So, and then it kept going down. So if we can retrace this thing by 786, meaning from this level, we will from this level here, we will return high enough that it breaks a bit of that downward force. And even though we might still come down, it's not as momentum, there's not as much momentum to the downside. Okay. That's kind of what we're looking for here. And so again, where would that be? Let's look on the daily. We should be closed now. We are at 1 minute past the hour of the day, 1st of June. Phenomenal, phenomenal. So let's see here. Firstly, this peak is nice that it doesn't even match this peak. So that's a good sign right there. Could be some sort of failure or just generally a turnaround. And here is the other. So we're going to look at firstly this one here, this retracement. Yeah, you see how it touched the 618 and kept going, but then it didn't have enough steam, so that's good. So let's see where we get here, and let's see if we can chop around a bit more in here. So from roughly this level down into here. Now, if we can't, and it's going to go like this, and then another this, maybe, and maybe even further. But so that's what we're watching for. Try to get above the 618, above 410, and on a daily close above 410, and ideally even above a 427. That would be good. That would be good to close above that. Let's say if we can close at this 430 level around the purple, that would be a very strong closure. Okay, there we go. So that's an idea and a level to consider. Okay, friends of Pirate Chain and price charts. Hope you're enjoying this. That's about it for today. We've got a nice looking boot over here. I don't know if you see it, but so they say. Okay, that's it. That's the daily chart. I wanted to just also mention that, yes, the reason why we wanted to look at the daily closing candle and say, what a nice candle. And it's just more of potential for sideways over time. That's what sideways is going to look like. It's going to look like some green days and some red days, but nothing consistent and nothing huge always. You know, it'll maybe one huge thing and then a lot of small things the opposite direction, one way or the other. Similar to here. Okay, or you might have something like this, bang, and then sideways grind to make it even halfway back. You know, it's just, that's how you over time get sideways. And that's the, we look at the weekly and we say, yeah, we're in an interesting look here. Has a similar dump candle and sideways candle like Bitcoin. And of course, because it's the dollar chart and it's pretty much matching it, but it did find its new levels and a new situation for itself during the recent uptrend. Okay, so that's Pirate Chain ARRR on the weekly, but you could see here some sideways action, go here. We could see how even a $4 or a $5 touch can be reasonable, and even rejecting at even at a high $5 level, $6 level can be a thing. Or maybe it's just a kind of grind here and maybe a slow grind down until the July time, August time, and then we start really figuring out how the next move plays out in ARRUSDT. Alrighty then, that would be on the weekly time frame. Out of here, next up, our BTC, and on that daily candle, again, a nice closing. This is our BTC on the daily with the Japanese candlesticks. Here is our May 31st candle, end of the month. Wow, there you go, sideways. Not as flat as this one, not as narrow, I should say. But there you go. There we have it. Make of it what you will. Same idea, but it's a different chart. There's more base all the way across, whereas the USD chart doesn't have the same base all the way across. So this one is definitely looking like a boot or a race car or maybe some sort of magical, majestic mountain. So this is our BTC on the daily chart. And again, potential for testing some of this moving average up here and then potentially rejecting further. Or, yep, again, depending on the BTC movements, it might even, for this chart, it might be just a grind. I can only hope for a grind for all of us who are looking for brighter futures ahead and opportunities to get beyond these clouds and find new blue skies. Well, that's looking good. It's looking like there is potential. Okay, that is definitely looking like there is potential. And it was the daily considerations in the friends of lagging indicators. By the time now that we start turning up even a bit, even if it's just to come up and then back down, up and down, but that turning up will signal some upward movement, but this is going to be lagging. So I feel like the movement will happen in the next little bit, and then we'll see it lagging with a bit of an upturn here. We already do start seeing it here, and I think it'll get a sense of continuance, especially on the USD. I just get a sense that Bitcoin will see a bit of an up / sideways time, and that'll be all right for everyone. Down is when everyone is freaking out and losing their minds. And now it's time for people to get impatient. Look at this movement. Okay, we're making it into a weekly time frame now. And yeah, we're looking at an interesting potential flagging action. That would be nice. That would be very nice. That would be a great, if we could get a few mono waves into a polywave impulse, multi-wave impulse on a weekly frame, that would be incredible. Incredible. Yeah, let's see how our BTC does as it matures. There is definitely, that's the other thing, is there is a lot of maturity going to come. We must have patience. 2022 is only here. It's right here. This is 2022, right here, 2022, January. Okay. There is something special happening. I don't know where we're going here precisely. This is the RBTC, but yeah, look at this here. This Ichimoku, if everything is playing out the same way, then there is possibly up movement, and then by end of 2021, it could be going through the side of this sucker right here, this Ichimoku. Okay, if everything else has done that on this pirate chain chart, hasn't it? So maybe we got to watch this movement right here. Okay, so if we're up here by, I don't know, summer or whatever, or even if we're over here by summer, September, October, whatever, maybe November, we should pay attention and watch out. Okay, but that's far away. Maybe it won't play out on the weekly the same way it did on the daily, and you know, on the daily specifically. Whoops, cancel that. Get out of here. So do you see weekly chart looks great, looks interesting, looks like there's a lot of potential. Daily chart, you see, that's what I kind of mean here, is breaking through of the sucker. However, one thing I did notice is, and friends of Ichimoku might be able to chime in, although, anyway, thanks everyone who's liking and commenting, sharing, and of course, subscribing too. This Ichimoku cloud here, it's a red color, whereas, and let's see how that works, but on the weekly seems to be, at least so far, is a green. Okay, does that show? Okay, so yeah, I don't know. We'll see what that all means at the time. That's end of the year type of talk. See you at the end of the year, friends. Looking forward to it. Oh, wow. I could handle that though. Scale wise, I could even see sideways all the way through the end of the year, especially our BTC chart, while the USD does whatever it's going to do. The RBTC could. But we will watch it happen as it does, and we'll call it along the way. I definitely don't have any specific idea when the next impulse will be. I definitely could imagine sideways, channeling, let everything on a weekly, let the Ichimoku come together a bit more. That'll take us at least to the summer, and then maybe even beyond. All right. Yeah, there's likelihood that this could go into the fall, and in the fall things could be different, and maybe the altcoins will fall in BTC price and up in dollars. We'll see. Oh, exciting times ahead, because you know what, things could just be popping off in July even. So, and depending, you know, there's a lot of things that are happening here. Maybe it's just Bitcoin that's going to be taking the center stage, and everything else like our BTC is going to be dumping or doing just some boring sideways, and it'll be really about Bitcoin. I feel like the next move really is going to be about Bitcoin, unless of course the alts steal the show before Bitcoin makes its move. There you see we're in a different type of season, and there's things happening where people are definitely looking just beyond Bitcoin, not just at Bitcoin, and they're looking beyond it. And so that makes a difference. Well, let's see where we are now in the whole cycle of adoption and price chart movement. All right, so that's about it. We're 12 minutes into the day. I think I'm going to end it off about here. I want to just notice these monthlies because we have closed a month. So we have made we've made this. Okay, look at that. Isn't that pretty? All right, let's show it in candlestick style. This is the June now, so you can ignore this. Okay, so really what we did, this is good. Oh, and that's what I was thinking too, is that potentially now we have this range here where, you know, yeah, there's this range here between 16,000 Satoshis and even 7,500 Satoshis. I can feel that until the next impulse. I don't know if we'll go below that overall. Then again, in Satoshis, anything can happen. But it just feels like there is a new level and a new paradigm for the our BTC and our USD charts. RSI information here is still quite high, so definitely room for downwards. See, on a monthly, definitely room for downwards. So be not surprised if we close a month around 9,500, 8,000 even. Okay, it's definitely possible. All right, those of you waiting for that 8,000. Okay, I think that's it for now. On that note, let's just return to the day chart and say our goodbyes for now. Noticing though that we have some squeezing in our Bollinger Band zone. Much better than it was halfway through the month. Well, actually, not even. Around halfway through the month, it seemed a bit more squeezed, and that's where we got that downturn. But basically, before that, we were way wide. Now we've squeezed. We went to the downside. Are we going to have more? Well, we said it was possible because of this action. Let's just do this. But it doesn't, it's done now. It's done now. See, it's done. Look. If this is a combined zigzag, it didn't even, it's weak. It's a weak, it's not even really, doesn't even really properly complete. So I'm not impressed here. I don't see that thing. When I say I'm not impressed, I don't see this connecting as one structure in the same way. If it is connecting, no, I don't see that. You know, the psychology here involved is strange. Like when I think about the psychology of this up move and then this down move, and then what's happening here with these sideways actions, I'm seeing here what's outlined in purple is a different situation than this initial zigzag dump. The initial zigzag dump is the initial dump. Then we have people reaccumulating and trading, and now is definitely going to be that reaccumulating. But in the sense of coming down here, correcting, and then having another down, it would have to be a really big down. This doesn't make sense, does it? Not to connect here, it doesn't connect here. Anyway, I feel like I'm wasting time now. Ramble, ramble, ramble. For those of you who are using this to fall asleep, good. If you're using this, you know, 1.5x, 1.75x speed, well, that makes it easier for you too. I'm going to end it here. I don't have much else to say. Take care, everyone. Goodbye. Bye for now. Love, peace, happiness. We're out of here. Peace.